One kill, not something you ever want to see, but the difference between them was so great in terms of experience, money, levels. Everything's just been so bad for Andrew that that's really what happens down there in that lane, try as he might. It's 2 levels between them. That's so devastating.
Gonna teleport back in, looking for some revenge as Corporal's trying to cut off the Lucian, but he's not going to be able to do it, and Corporal's forced to back away. Guts was even there for the assist. Preda's having a great game already.
Preda's been having a good last week and a half. Maybe even 2 weeks coming out of him. Honestly, he's been one of the few players on Legacy that has been the most noticeable in his improvements. There's been ups and downs from some other members of the team, but overall, Preda is the one on a steady incline in his performance week on week.
Yeah, noticeable because he's been doing it consistently. And this is a player that ended up having to role swap into this as well. Legacy kind of had a lot of change-ups, newer players, as Denian was referring to, but also players playing in unfamiliar positions. And he's certainly leveled up. Bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely.
Say
Someone who has a story past,
well.
though.
Yeah, also true. No, he's not one of the newer ones, but in this role, perhaps. Legacy going to fight over this blue buff. In fact, they're just going to take it away because no one was fighting back.
Give that one over to Chaz, and Lissandra is stalking just around the corner there of the blue buff, but doesn't actually find what she is after. So we're going to go back to mid lane. We're going to have another full reset, it looks like, for both of these teams after the items were purchased. Bot lane is the place that is still going to have to be a major point of focus here. Turrets will start to drop down in that area of the map pretty quickly if Direwolves do nothing about it.
Well, Direwolves, one of the big critiques levied against them in the last couple of weeks is that they haven't really had much of a response prepared, which has been surprising because they've been locked out of playoffs for a while. Without a whole lot to lose, you'd think they'd play a little easier, but the opposite has been true.
It's hard to say what the breakpoint will be in this game. You know, Rift Turret is something that they will be looking towards, but at the moment, with all the slow, steady scaling up, I feel like bottom lane being unlocked to the rest of the map could be the thing that really breaks it. At this moment, bottom lane turret falling, but still trading on the top side Direwolves, they're still in the game well and truly. You know, 0-2 Renekton with a 30 CS deficit is a pretty significant thing in how far behind he is. So even a Kai'Sa that may be super far behind could potentially kill him, you know, and we'll have to see that. But I feel like Praedyth is too far ahead, so he still will be able to break open the map.
Don't doubt that at all. One of the players that's also had a lot of visible improvement has been Chaz in the mid lane. He's had a quieter few weeks, but I think everyone's going to remember when he picks up the Yasuo, makes the big plays, the team builds around him, and he delivers.
Well, that's the thing with Chaz, you know, like, I would say that absolutely over the course of this split he has improved and it's been noticeable, but not every game, and not consistent, right? Like, there is the Yasuo game that you speak of, there is yesterday's game as well on the Lissandra where they have those big moments, and you can look at him and pick and choose those moments where he's been great, but it hasn't been every week. He is just 1v1ing him.
Yeah, Paprise, pretty aggressive here, wants to go in, and Biopanther trying to duel him out. Sword versus weird axe thingy.
Well, he's got him.
He's got the kill easy. He's gonna force a flash out. Wait, going
has he?
Oh, that's close actually.
Oh!
I was toying with him.
There's a lot of kiting there. They were trying really hard. Paprise wanted to get the ultimate's duration to run out before he went for the execute. He had enough damage to kill him, but he just would have respawned again. And in the process of waiting, Biopanther with the Conqueror procced just smacks him around.
And Paprise took a lot of damage from minions as well. But in the meantime, Legacy gets something out of it. They take the Rift Herald with the remaining 4 members, and there really is no response from the Direwolves.
They could have just taken 2 things for it, you know, if the kill was there as Chaz.
And he's stunned for days. Nowhere for him to go. He's knocked up even by Corporal as the shutdown comes in. Get Back claims his 2nd kill of the game.
This is what happens when you compliment people.
Caster Curse. Never fails.
500 bounty goes over to the mid laner of Direwolves, and now gets a 500 bounty for himself as well.
It's pretty big right now, so Direwolves have found a couple of answers in the forms of kills. The question remain, though, is, you know, how well can they start to secure a couple of objectives? Playing with more gold, that'll translate to items pretty quickly. Take a look at what's already locked in for the players. I think the biggest thing that stands out, though, is the fact that Preda's sitting on his Blade of the Rune King and Black Cleaver.
Yeah, definitely is a lot of items there for the Lucian. You compare that to the Renekton on his same team, just the Black Cleaver, clearly a significant difference in gold influx for them. For the opposing side, Biopanther is getting ever closer to his own Black Cleaver purchase, and that 2-item point will be a significant threat in team fights. And, you know, Aatrox will always hit one of those points where a Q3 and a flash on top of the head of a carry will probably just take half their health maybe in a single chunk, a la the Shy at Worlds.
barrel popped in the mid. Legacy looking for the tower. 4 members here. They're actually going to march into the jungle, not go for the push without any minions there as well. Guts clearing vision.
Looks like they wanted to cut them off, you know, prevent the avenue of access from top to mid. Turret falls, fight mid.
Oh, and it's Udasoft going in onto 2, but the rest of Legacy collapse around. Start by taking down, get back. Biopanther is isolated, and he might res, but he's going down pretty soon after. Still has that flash, gonna try to get over the wall here, and it's followed by Praedyth. He will not be denied, and there's the shutdown onto the Aatrox. 500 gold in the pocket of the Lucian.
And there was always a Rise to come down there and follow with the ultimate anyway. Chaz throws that one for good measure, but Praedyth is able to flash, and they lock that kill down. Direwolves seemingly looking for the collapse, in a very disjointed collapse, are picked apart by Legacy piece by piece. So the turret drops, the kills go as well, 2 members dead. And those were also shutdowns, both into the pockets of Legacy.
Yeah, big ones too, big kills. Gold lead grows to about 2,000 and some change here. Baron's coming up in 45 seconds. Not a big enough lead for them to easily take it away, but Legacy, again, they don't have a whole lot to lose here, and they can definitely go big and bold.
The reality is here, these teams were on very similar trajectories at the start of this split. It wasn't the best of starts, and there's been moments of promise. There's definitely been moments where you're like, these teams are improving, and unfortunately only one of them has continued to do so, you know, towards the later half of the split. There are still places, and I don't want to just sit here and harp on Direwolves as a negative by any means, and there are still things that they have as positives for sure. But a lot of the core problems that they seem to have as a team haven't been remedied, and everyone's beating them through those problems.
Well, I know, Rusty, if Spicy Tips are to be believed, you did have some faith in the Direwolves this week.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think they'd be able to do to really upset the apple cart?
I've already explained this, Pyro, but I'm just going for crazy tips to try and catch up as best
I thought you had a
can.
master plan that you didn't want to reveal. I was trying to weasel it out of you.
Not at all.
No, okay.
My master plan is very simple. I'm not winning, and I'm trying to win.
And that is kind of a game plan that Direwolves find themselves in right now.
Yeah, it is. We get along very well, Direwolves and I.
Yeah, well, they're a very agreeable team. I think, you know, the jovial young players.
They're
Been
also
a bit
just
more
lovely
serious lately.
people.
They are good people, though. Every time I see them in the hallway, they're always having a laugh, enjoying themselves.
They're the best of people.
Very friendly. Oh, here comes Paprise. He's a very aggro person.
He's got an executioner's calling on the opposing side, so I feel like he might hesitate and back away from that one.
Yeah, this time around. Just kind of hovers around the outside while the rest of his team take yet another dragon. That is the second Ocean Dragon, so a little bit of extra regeneration as well as the mountain they picked up earlier on.
And you know, the CS difference in top lane actually does equate to that executioner's calling worth of items. The 2 kills there, of course, give him a little bit extra.
Quite significant.
So it does start to add up, but no Black Cleaver finished yet for Biopanther. He delays that by the executioner's calling worth of gold. In one more wave, though, he'll have enough money to go back to base and pick that one up. And the teleport is available for him as well, so perhaps they start to look towards those plays as the item spikes come across.
Waiting for the time they can strike. Bio, he's going to be taking the aggressive play now. Nearly locked Paprise up into the chains. So Legacy are probably just playing this 4-1 consistently and sniffing for kills, hunting to see if they can get a man advantage. That would enable them to grab a Baron, especially if it was Udasoft taking a smite away from Direwolves.
Is there a bodybuilder Zac skin?
There really should be.
Oh, that'd be so great, because what you could do, right, is when he channels the E, he could be like starting a deadlift.
Ah, well, you've been to the gym a lot lately.
Me? No, never.
Thinking this way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'd like to see? In one of those like shirts that like it's just a t-shirt, but it has like a big muscly beach body on the front of it. Zac was wearing one of those, yeah. Because he's kind of blobby, you know?
Well, yeah, he's amorphous, but I'm sure he could like change his body to have abs or something. Could he not?
He'd give himself like Jello abs.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That would be a great animation, actually. They could just add that into base skin.
Also, Aeroplane Jelly Zac is now just something that came into my mind and should exist.
Yeah, why not? This is the special weapons one, if I recall correctly.
I'm very unsure.
Oh, see, he does flex. Yeah. No abs, but he kind of deflates and stuff.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, that's a little...
I've never seen that before. I don't play that champion. That was great.
You really should play more Zac Rusty.
Oh,
It's kind of in the name.
I'm not a Zac Rusty guy.
Nope, you're a Zac Rusty Pie. So, slow game for Legacy as they continue to build the pressure, trying to secure vision safely.
Yeah, it's also a point in the game where Direwolves are known to be quite weak. Denny has even mentioned this in the interview. Legacy have been getting steadily more and more improved in their mid-game prowess. slowing the game down is one of the better ways to do this as well. If you control vision, you tend to force errors out of your respective opponents. So maybe something that Legacy start to look towards. Areas of control, area of vision control, objective focus. Maybe Direwolves overstep their bounds and they're caught out of position.
Yeah, that's fair. So Direwolves do continue to just kind of run through their own jungle, trying to keep pace with the best that Legacy can throw at them, but not going for the aggressive play. BioPanther's really been the only one who has been making those plays. It's all been solo in the side lanes because while everyone else is playing League of Legends, Paprise and BioPanther are playing the 1v1 game.
I mean, really, it feels like whoever is in proximity of Paprise is the person playing aggressively from the side of Direwolves. And taking the croc away from Direwolves, they're upset by it, and they wanted to stop him from having a good game.
What?
Rudy flashes.
Yeah, there he's going to get the taunt on, and Direwolves start the fight. Andrew into the back line. How well can Legacy respond to this one? Andrew taken pretty low, though, and he's going to get taken out by Praedyth on the outplay. Chaz caught on the opposite side. Udisoft trying to heal himself back up, and Crazy taunted away. Paprise lead the charge here. The double kill goes the way of Praedyth, and Direwolves. Admirable start to the fight, but they walk away with a disadvantage.
Yeah, they just don't have enough damage. Look at the items that Praedyth has completed. The Essence Reaver is there, and he's just gotten around the fight brilliantly.
And he's got
so
a Knight's
much
Vow
damage.
support.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's just doing too much damage. Kai'Sa can't keep up with him, and you'll see this. Andrew's ultimate positioning is so forwards and so aggressive that the Praedyth kite from him just means they end up in a 1v1. And there is no way that Andrew ever wins that 1v1 with Braum passive on. So starts to kite forwards. It's the Praedyth show from here, but Guts has been kiting. Paprise has been tanking as well. And they just have so much body to put in front of their 5-0 Lucian.
Yeah, really just running out of health bars. You can see Udisoft couldn't get back in after that one play. And if he had gone down, that might have been the Baron in favor of Legacy as it stands. Both teams didn't feel like they could go for it. Guts goes in, tries for the steal. Doesn't get it, but that was a nice hop.
Little stabby stab from under his blobs there. BioPanther will secure it, but it was very close, and that will help them a lot, Direwolves, as they have the vision control presently. Although that vision control has now been clearly spotted by their opponents, so Legacy will play respectfully. They'll go for their waves first. There's a lot of bait around vision, and Direwolves are really hoping that Legacy run into them, but they're not.
Well, Direwolves still pretty much confined to wave clear duty for the time being. They'll need to get off to the mid side of the map if they want to get anything going on their own terms. But it's hard enough to secure vision every time. Legacy have proved that they're not afraid to start a fight.
Ooh.
Not going to flinch the swag flag.
Close, not close enough.
Paprise has started to be pretty useful in some of these fights, though, despite the fact that he had a rough in a laning phase.
Yeah, he's a big tank. When he has the ultimate, when he has the Sterix gauge, which is there now, and you would assume he's going towards the Gargoyle Stone Plate, especially at that breakpoint, he is pretty unkillable.
He's not the only one as well. Guts on the Warmog's armor. BioPanther flashing away, followed through by Chaz. It's a 1v3, and he is going into a resurrection. Chaz remembers, hey, wait a minute, I need to finish the job. Should be able to get it. Careful, don't get outplayed there. Sidestepping, gets the kill, but Direwolves, look at this, they're on the Baron.
They've actually got it. Legacy aren't going to get here in time. They just put so many people into killing BioPanther. You've got to be kidding. It's just a free Baron.
All right, Direwolves going to be feeling pretty good about that.
Legacy just went for a play on the opposite side of the map to Baron when they had no vision control, realistically, that would enable them to get back there safely or in time.
That is an oopsie. Legacy really leaving a gate open, and Direwolves will take it. They'll lose a couple of towers on the reset. Legacy do get the one in the mid lane, but now let's see what the Wolfpack can do with the Baron buff on 4.
The thing is, that Baron probably would have ended the game for Legacy in terms of, you know, they have so much map control. They really were starting to snowball. That Lucian would be unkillable with minions in front of him as well.
Yeah, now it slows things down a little bit.
Yeah, it adds some time to the game. It slows it down like you mentioned. The Legacy is still, like, in full control of the Rift. It's just that they don't have Baron, which means to break inhibitor turrets is so much harder. There's a really deep wraparound right now from, was going to be Corporal.
Yeah, I think they end up having to give up the Ghost there. Legacy back away quickly enough in unison. But there's a couple of towers ripe for the taking. Standing gold here for Direwolves to try and close that gap and get a few more items for themselves. They're not slouching it too bad right now.
Yeah, the gold difference isn't even that significant. Like, they're still well and truly in with a fighting chance. But a lot of the game plan, you really have to kill Praedyth. If you cannot kill this Lucian, he's also right now an AD carry that refuses to die in the OPL full stop. He's got very good positioning in team fights and has proven to be one of the best one of the better team fighting AD carries, I would say, in our league. As long as Legacy get to team fights. Right now it's 5-0-1.
Tried to force it. Just gotta be careful of overcommitting onto one. Biopanther did a great job as bait.
He's got 4 items in 28 minutes.
It's pretty big.
He will 1v5. But he has a cleanse. He doesn't have a QSS. He doesn't have a heal. One piece of crowd control layering from Direwolves may well be enough. And they've got many knockups. They've got 3 knockups in total in their comp. So it's not just about what Get Back can do. It's about if Bio can hit a Q. It's if Ubisoft can knock him up or Corporal gets the ult off. You can't cleanse those.
No, you can't. So, target on the back for the Legacy AD carry. 29 minutes on the clock. Baron buff used to grab a couple of outer towers here for Direwolves. Let's see if they can get anything else. Sending Alessandro onto sidewave duty for now. Teleport's available on everybody. Well, except for Paprise. And Bio up in the top side, but they'll have him soon enough. It's kind of a waiting game.
It's a really calm game.
Yeah. Decent number of kills, but they've all been like slow builds into like very quick decisive moments, and then everyone just backs off again. It's not like it's a slugfest like we saw last time.
Yeah. You know, this is not what I wanted, but I'm happy with what we got. We take that. I just wanted action. I wanted brawls. You know, I wanted actually like gladiatorial combat in the mid lane arena.
We're just gonna have to watch more Paprise and Biopanther.
Malphite, not this renekton.
Malphite, man.
It's just fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. Well, I mean, it's such a satisfying ult to hit. Speaking of satisfying, oh, that's a big channel of the calling. Get Back's walking away from it. Here we go, looking for the Braum ulti. They do knock up Corporal, and he's going to get taken down to 0. Get Back, and Ubisoft tagging back in. They go back once again, and this is the Brolin you were looking for. Legacy getting the best of it, though. Ubisoft going to fall down. That's the double kill to the Rise.
That's pretty much the clean ace. There's 2 alive, but it doesn't feel like it at all. Legacy are going to push towards the inhibitor. No contest available from the side of Direwolves, who chose to take the fight with their support already dead. That clearly shows how they feel in this game. Oh, they got it.
Yep, go from lane to lane. Moving even with the minion down to the bottom tower, and they're going to grab a 2-for-1 special on the inhibitors.
Member still alive from Direwolves, like we mentioned, but their impact is going to be so insignificant to the Legacy boys that they'll take the inhibs, back it up, and go again on another fight. 1 inhibitor left standing. This all starts from Get Back going in, cancelling, and then probably wanting to disengage, but realizing it's not possible. Then Corporal steps up and gets tagged even after the flash. He is just dead to rights, and then they choose to go in to protect him or to help him again, but they were never going to win this. And meanwhile, Praetor free hitting even after all the zone control that was created, because no one can hit him when there's a big tank in front.
And if that wasn't any worse, Chaz is doing the exact same thing right next to him. He's not quite as big, but yeah, Legacy priority targets were not the ones that got tagged on by the Wolfpack, and that's why that fight went so lopsided. 31 minutes now.
Just switch over to how much gold Praetor has as well? See, okay.
Oh boy.
No, this is a point that I want to raise. He is my favorite AD carry right now in this game. And, so, you know, I only say in this game because I also am with a team and I have another favorite AD carry.
Okay.
He has 1,300 gold, and then we go back to his items. Not a BF sword, is what I'm getting at. There we go. He has 2 control wards.
Ah, he's a team player is what you're getting at.
He's a team player.
Good man.
I like that.
Cool. There's the dash. There's the play. Direwolves TPing in. Get Back looking to cut off the Lucian. They do go onto him, but he cleanses out. There's the layered CC, but at what cost?
He's dead.
They get the shutdown. Can Legacy still take the fight? I don't think they can. It's Andrew that gets the kill. And Direwolves pull the trigger. Executing not just 1, but 2, and now looking for Paprise. He's going to get turned into a pair of boots.
And they'll get 3. Chaz needs to be careful here. They're all nearby. Baron is up in 15 seconds. They may just run over to it and take it down again. There's Chaz.
For Chaz.
Where you
Where's he
off
going?
to?
He's going for Get Back. He takes him down. Outplay off the side. Now Chaz has just got to run it out. He burns the flash. That might dampen the Baron chances, though, for Direwolves.
Yeah, that may actually save them from the Baron completely. Guts is still alive as well, so the smite risk is there, and Ubisoft is dead. With that kill, Chaz assassinates Get Back as a rise, and so the Baron is not going to be taken by Direwolves, but they may still look for it. They may actually still try, and they are.
They're going to go. 2 members on. Corporal body blocking here. Guts and Chaz is there.
The intent has to be to turn. There's no way they try and take a smite battle against the Zach.
Udasov is coming in, though, and it looks like they do turn off the Baron. It stays aggro. Chaz and Guts, they're feeling like they can do this because they're forcing Direwolves to make a choice. Super Minions on the bottom, soon coming into the mid.
Predictable health bar is going down, though. It's at 3,000. 2,000 now. Udasov, he's here. Braum can cancel. No, he has no ult.
He doesn't have an ult, but Guts is going to hop over instead. They're just going to delete Udasov, guaranteeing themselves the Baron. That locks it up.
And one moment of weakness from Legacy. 1,000 gold shut down from Praedyth is given over to Andrew. He's still got 800 on him as well. That's how fed Praedyth was. But the Baron can't be secured. And they give it over to their opponents on the backside of that fight. And suddenly with 2 inhibs down and Baron buff on Legacy, I don't see a way for Direwolves back into this.
Nah, but they did put up a fight, and that's more than you can say for some of the Direwolves games of late. Legacy flexing their muscles, and this is going to be a team to contend with in Split 2.
They have one moment, Pyro. They've got a Lissandra who has the ultimate, and there is no cleanse for Praedyth. Perhaps they can do something, but the desperation is going to start to really weigh on their minds.
Here's Corporal.
He's already got a big flank here.
If he pulls it, though, Chaz is actually going to start running at him, and he justice punches away. Legacy going to turn on the flank. Here's Guts, sticking on a Corporal. Redemption comes through, but get back right to the middle, and he just doesn't get the damage. A full channel going into the back of Andrew as he lives just barely. There's going to be the hero's entrance, the turnaround from the Wolfpack. It's absolute carnage. A double kill going to Andrew, who's still alive in this game, and they'll turn on to Chaz as he's caught out isolated. Not going to go down just yet, and Praedyth tagging his way in.
Praedyth?
It's the 1, the 2, outplays, and he doesn't get shut down.
He's 1 hit away from dying. Bio's stuck between 2 people, and he just can't kill him.
And there's Chaz for the ace, that's it.
He's going to rise ult into the base as well. It's over. Legacy, they just style.
They do at the end of it. Direwolves definitely give him a harder time than could have been expected. But at the end of the day, Legacy will close out their split with a win.
And you have to be happy with that at the end if you're Legacy. The individuals showing up for them